Dylan.
Hello, I'm Tristan.
And this week on that show we're going to be talking about some Last of Us details, Metal Gear on the Vita, the Avengers trailers, some SpiderMan trailers, and we're going to be continuing the conversation on used games not being able to be played on the next generation of consoles. Cue the intro! So it's the fourth video and we're going to be asking the question every 4 videos, how are we going on our yearly goals we set in our fucking year video? How are your goals going?
Yeah, no, not too bad. I've completed one of the platinums that I've had down as a goal. I've grown a level and that's, yeah, I've played a few games that I had written down. So what about you?
Not done shit. Haven't done shit, really. I've done nothing I've set my goals to do. Like, any of the games I said I wanted to play, but none of that. I haven't got a single platinum so far this year. Haven't gone back and platinum any games. Nothing. Quad little zero. Nothing. Crap. But, you know, talking about what we did this week, I haven't done much, really. You started Fringe.
I did. I started Fringe. It's brilliant. I'm loving it. Just got the next ones. Watched the first season in 2 days.
Too much spare time.
Yes.
Time just pulling out of your pockets.
I don't have a job. No. And
fair enough.
What have you done this week?
I said nothing.
No,
not
nothing
even
this week.
Oh, nothing interesting. I watched Chronicle.
There you go.
Went to cinemas, all that. Review. As per the usual fucking link I say review. DylanReviews.blogspot.com. Fucking whatever. It was alright, right? I'm not going to say the score because I never say the score on videos. Let's move into the news. The news, and the topics of the week. The first one, the big one, is Last of Us news. Right? We're pretty excited for this upcoming Naughty Dog game. Game Informer has the first details and the screenshots of The Last of Us, and they said that it will include melee and gunplay. Weapons will also be breakable. Some gameplay will include scavenging for items. And players will not control Ellie as some had hoped, but she apparently has good AI. Unlike Resident Evil, maybe. Shiver! Shiver! You fucking bitch! You know? Sound good? Any thoughts?
We watched we didn't watch, we had a look at the
screenshots. They had the free screenshots that they had on the interwebs.
Yeah, and they look very good, but other than that, they haven't really said much about it.
One thing I have noticed with these new screenshots and the original poster that they put out, that is very bright game. You know, we have the idea that the whole game takes place in this world that's like kind of taken over by an environmental disease. You know, Mother Nature maybe kicking back ass. You know, trying to take a mate back. But it's a very bright game in like a grim story, which you wouldn't expect. You know, most grim stories, most dark stories, the world's over, zombies, whatever the hell else, very dark.
No, but I like how they're doing it. They're showing the world's growing over with trees.
And the plants are very green, and the sun's still very bright in all these pictures, and the world looks... it looks a lot. It looks like it's something's weird there going on. Melee and gunplay, cool. Scavenging for items sounds cool to me. Kind of the hopeful, you know, survival kind of elements that we was kind of looking forward to. The ability not to play Ellie kind of pisses me off because I was hoping for her. I was saying to you last week, I was hoping that I didn't mind if they could still announce something, but I wouldn't mind the ability not to play story, like the main campaign mode and split screen or online co-op or anything like that, but I was hoping that maybe they'd add a co-op mode which would take place before the events that the campaign covers, where maybe you could, then these would be a few separate co-op missions that you could play online or split screen. I was hoping for that because it could be a lot more fun. But maybe they just figured they can't because of the elements the game runs off, you know, like scavenging, looking for all this stuff. Maybe it's not really like a good co-op based kind of thing.
Possibly, but I think, like, not that it would affect it that much if they, well, obviously they're not, but I think it'd be an alright idea if you could play as either one of them from the get-go at the start.
Yeah, well, it could, especially if every character, like you see most of the pictures of him, Ellie has this rifle. Yeah. Right? The main guy, whose name I can't remember, has a pistol. You know? Maybe if they did do this cool thing where you can choose to start the main campaign as each different characters, split kind of playing styles would have made it different. More replay value, especially if they did have split.
And a bit more story to each character.
Yeah,
which we find out by playing as each character.
Different secrets, maybe, shit like that. But, you know, apparently that's not going to be happening, so we'll move on. We hope the game's going to be good. But one of the strange things, though, another little piece of Last of Us news that came out was that this game was originally supposed to be Jak and Daxter 4. Right, the story goes that after Naughty Dog did Uncharted 2, the team split in two. One was supposed to be making Uncharted 3, the other was supposed to be working on a Jak and 4 game. Jak and Daxter. Jak and 4 game. But, you know, they said, I was reading that they said that they was doing all these ideas and stuff, and they would look at it and go, well, that's not really a Jak and Daxter game. So eventually they just evolved over into this Last of Us thing, which, you know, saying that is still cool because like I've been wanting the Jak and Daxter 4.
Yeah.
Right, so it's just because they haven't done it now doesn't mean they won't come back to it year, two, you know, maybe go back and try and make that game, which is cool. So it's not, even though it's not an announcement that a Jak and Daxter 4 is in development or will be coming out, this is as close news as we've got hearing about it.
As much as I like the Jak and Daxter bloody trilogy, or not so trilogy, because another one might hopefully is coming out. It's good to see something fresh. Yeah.
No, I'm perfectly happy. Yeah, no, a new IP is a lot better than the sequel most of the times. It's not like there's not enough Jak and Daxter games out there, but hopefully I'd still like to see one, especially because I still believe that there's not enough platformer adventure games on the current generation of consoles.
That's it, yeah.
So if the only way I'm going to get more of those genre games is by sequels to some of the more classic PS1, PS2 games of that genre, if that's the only way I'm going to get them and not expect new IPs, because, you know, games like Vanquish came out, which even though I haven't played, people kind of consider that now. It's like this is an action adventure game. Uncharted is an action adventure game, which they are, but like action adventure to me from like my childhood is Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Jak and Daxter. That's what my mind envisions when people say action adventure game. I don't envision Uncharted, Vanquish, whatever the hell else.
If people started playing on the PlayStation 3, there's not that much of an option to. There's Ratchet and Clank to the platformer kind of games. So it'd be cool. It would be really cool. Of course, the Ratchet and Clank games haven't stopped. Because to me, it's like Ratchet from the PS2 era. It's like Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, and Jak and Daxter. And of course, they did that the game where they roll in it on the PS3. But like the Sly Fall's come out, Ratchet and Clank games haven't stopped, so we're not looking for them. But Jak and Daxter 4 would be cool. Hopefully, devolve more into that. Yesterday, Amazing Spider-Man got a new trailer, and I think the trailer was a lot better than the original one. The original one just didn't seem to have much Spider-Man in it. The only Spider-Man thing in it was really the, like, suit-wise, action-wise, was at the end of it they had the whole Mirror's Edge, like, first-person view. You got to see his hands, like, running across. Not much. This new trailer, really cool. We get to see a lot more of Spidey in the suit, doing some action sequences. We get to see a bit more of Gwen Stacy, and Lizard's there. So, trailer's cool. I like the trailer. Yeah, no, I really liked it, yeah. Looked good.
Except for what were you saying? What was your problem?
My problem?
Yeah, you were saying to me after we watched the trailer last night, you were saying you had a problem with Spider-Man and the cops being after him.
Oh yeah, the cops being after him. He's never really been that kind of cops being after him. Everyone loves him. He's Spider-Man. He's an icon in their world. But, and you were saying you're worried how that guy would do Spider-Man, but as a Spider-Man character, but
I was saying how he was going to act as that thing.
Yeah, in the thing.
There's one line there where he's in the suit though. I can't remember exactly what he says, but he pulls off a smart aleck in the car. Another example. In the car, guy's about to rob car, and he says something smart ass to the guy that's about to rob car. He's pulling it off. I'm actually like completely. It's turned my views against like my idea that Andrew Garfield couldn't pull off a smart ass kind of character. From what I've seen in that trailer.
Yeah, the trailer was really good.
Yeah.
Watch it if you haven't already.
We got to see a little bit of Lizard, not too much of his actual form. At one point there, he's on top of a tower or something in his lizard form. Spider-Man's like taking him down, but we do get to see Rhys Evans just in human, you know. And they got compared to like Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man movies. This movie, they talk about a lot more Peter's past, his parents, what they was doing. You know, his dad was working with him. They're involved in like his work. They never really do. I can't remember them ever like divulging in the original trilogy at all into like his parents or anything like that.
Yeah, there wasn't too much of his background. Not too much.
No, they can't just like the movie starts. He's living with his aunt and uncle. Uncle dies. He's Spider-Man now. So maybe they're going for a bit more of that. Cool, you know.
Yeah, I hope so.
More Superman, not Superman, bloody Superman. Superhero news got let loose at the Super Bowl was on. We obviously don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl because we're Australian and we don't care about that sport. So, but the only thing I care about the Super Bowl each year is because it has these really cool movie trailers, trailers or spots there. The Avengers, which I honestly have been saying I don't give a fuck about. Like the trailer they released a while back now, I thought it was crap, didn't like it. I just think I'm not pumped for that movie. I'm like, this trailer doesn't get me pumped. This new trailer is fucking cool, right? Don't watch, there's a 30-second one on the internet that was shown at the Super Bowl. Don't watch that one. Watch the minute one, the extended one, and it's fucking really cool. You know, the best shot, they showed a shot of slow motion kind of this circles around, all of the Avengers circle fucking looking around. Fucking gave me, like, my willy just jumped up about 4 bonerish.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I am pumped for it. Just so like like you're more into DC. I'm kind of a Marvel kind of guy. Yeah, but no, I'm excited to see what they can do.
We got to see Loki at the end. Funny line. He's saying, "Oh, we've got an army. Tony Stark. We've got a Hulk." Yeah. And then you get to see Hulk fucking flying for there. It's cool because they didn't show the only shot of the Hulk in the last trailer was like, I love when you turn into that green monster thing, which once again Stark's talking about.
I'm a huge fan of it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of when you turn into that thing. Really cool trailer. Some other cool trailers I thought were shown at the Super Bowl was the Dictator trailer, which is the I'm going to say the way I pronounce it, Sacha Cohen Baron. It could be Saka. So like, fuck knows. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, like Borat, Ali G, or that guy. New movie, Dictator, 30-second trailer. It's really cool though. Funny. I assume it's going to be taken on the stereotypical image of the dictator, especially like Kim Jong-il and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, he's in line there, he's got some funny lines about the Kardashians, and at the end he's like running along the track and he's fucking shooting people on the legs so he can win the fucking race. It looks really cool.
He doesn't even get people to bring the finish line up to him.
Yeah, the finish line. It looks really fun. Like, he's a really funny guy, and I love like Borat and I love Ali G. You know,
yeah,
like those movies.
I'm not a big fan of them.
Bruno, funny.
Especially not Bruno.
I like them all, and he's like he proven that he can actually play different roles. I thought he was going to be restricted to these self-contained characters that he's made up, but I saw him in Hugo, and he's hilarious. He like is a big part of why that movie's such an enjoyment. And he, you know, especially like after seeing that, I have like much higher hope for him to like move out. He was in Sweeney Todd as well. He had a small role, right? And Talladega Nights. Like, because considering when all these movies first started coming out, they're all based off characters that was in his TV show, the LEG show, which was, you know, they're cool characters and that was a really funny show, but I thought he was going to be an actor, comedian that like kind of died off after he released all these movies. But, you know, it's kind of like, I suppose, like Mike Myers originally, like that guy's kind of like died off. Mike Myers was in, you know, a few bits of movies, of course he's like in Shrek and all that, but like his big ones like Austin Powers and the fucking Love Guru and Wayne's World shit, like they're all based upon characters that he created for like other stuff, and he really didn't divulge out and like take on many other things like that, so I kind of thought that he was going to be like that, but he's proven himself. The Hunger Games is another cool trailer I thought was there. I've been interested in this movie ever since the first trailer, and I'm interested to get down and read the book. But I like this. Like I've seen so many. Like there's a few movies. There was one like this, that wrestler, Steve Austin ones. You know, like a bunch of guys on an island. They did it like dead or alive, condemned, or like dead or alive. It's like the whole element. People fight to death. But this one just seems to have such a more like it seems a lot more character based. Like why she's doing it. So it's just like this this thing, this stereotypical tough guy thing, and like it's a girl for a start, which is different because usually these kinds of movies you'd expect it to be a male lead, male tough lead. So there's a start. And it's like got this whole different kind of world aspect. People are wearing really weird clothing. I like different worlds, so I'm really interested in that. But not so cool was I hated the Battleship trailer.
Oh, one thing about that really pissed me off was Rihanna's in it. Who likes that bit?
I was listening to the radio a week or so back at work, and they was like interviewing about it, and they're like asking about a character. You're in like a real stereotypical army movie, and they're asking about what kind of character is it? She's like, oh, she's a girl that's like trying to fit into a man's world, and like she's like acting like a character's got so much more detail to it, which I haven't seen the movie, so I can't judge obviously, but I can.
No, I just hate they get this singer, they're like, oh yeah, people like her singing, let's chuck her in a movie. Fuck.
She'd probably chuck people.
Let's not make those shit people more famous.
But it's not good. I don't like the highlight. The first thing that you watch a trailer comes up from Hasbro, the company that brought you Transformers. Hasbro's a board game company. You're trying to sell a movie, board, like the whole thing, like watch that trailer. What's this? This is based on Battleship? Yeah, the board game. Yeah, it's got robot monsters, like fucking circular things. It just looks like such a stereotypical action, just crap. For all I know, it could turn out to be like the best action movie ever made, but at the moment, it does look like utter crap. A lot of people have been saying other things utter crap, and that's that before Watchman was announced, it's going to be a somewhat prequel series of comic books that apparently supposed to fill in the loose gaps that were left in the comic book story. And obviously they're releasing this news. They're going, oh, we're doing some more Watchmen stuff, and if this, everyone knows as soon as these comics start coming up, they'll probably announce a Watchmen prequel movie like next year. Like they're going to do it as well. Now, Alan Moore, the original creator, is not involved with this. He doesn't want it to happen. He never wanted the Watchmen movie to happen. He never wanted the theme movie to happen. He didn't Swamp Thing. Sorry, he didn't want any of these things to happen. Everyone's going off, but I don't really care. Like I don't care if they do a prequel movie or a prequel comic book series, because it's like I've still got like a really good movie, really good comic here. I can just pretend it doesn't exist if it's really shit. Like a lot of people are treating it like if this comes out, it's going to ruin what's like the best comic book ever written, kind of thing. It's not going to ruin it because it's like there. Just pretend this doesn't exist. It could be shit, but just let it go. Pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and they could make it good and surprise people.
It's got some good comic book writers involved in it, but it just like a lot of people, I don't know how people weren't expecting this to happen. Like, I thought as soon as the movie came out, I was expecting, like, where's the announcement of more Watchmen shit, But it took a while. The movie's been out for, 2-3 years now? Something ridiculous like that.
So they took to watch it.
Yeah,
it's good, man.
It's a fucking wicked movie. The comic looks like fucking amazeballs. And we'll see how it turns out. Like, obviously I'll read the comics when they come out, and then when the movie comes out, because I'm putting my dollar bill on it, that the fucking movie will come out. You right there? Do you want to...
Oh, bless me.
Your PSN? PlayStation Network, they call it.
Yes.
You got this PlayStation Network on your PlayStation, soon not going to exist. They're not shutting it down, they're changing it. Sony's announced that it's going to be called the SEN. Try saying that. PSN, the SEN.
What is it, Sony Entertainment Network?
It sounds like fucking Nazi shit, like SEN. Just I PlayStation. Like, no, it's Sony Entertainment Network. Now, the idea behind them doing it makes perfect sense. They said that they want to, instead of it being called the PlayStation Network thing, they want all their services, the music services, the movie services, their game services, Vita, PlayStation, TV services, all that stuff. They want all their services to be located and all thought of under the one same thing, which is actually what I want them to do. I never said that they should change the name, but it makes perfect sense because I like the idea of everything just being kind of connected. It makes your brain just like kind of work better, I think. Like in your head, you're like, oh, this is... So, like Sony works their stuff really good. They have everything connected, like everything will work well. And especially when we're talking about like, I wanted like Sony phones to connect with all this stuff and the Vita, the PlayStation and everything. So, they're kind of, I like it. I like they're working towards creating a bigger picture instead of just like, here's a product that was released by us and here's another product. They're kind of working towards the Sony world versus Sony universe.
And do you reckon that's because they had all these like this idea came when they were connecting the Vita to it. They were like, we should make it so everything just...
Well, it could be because there's... Well, I don't think it's so much that. They've just really got all these services. Like, they got...
You got your tablets.
You got... Yeah, they got like these services like Music Unlimited, which you can... Music Unlimited is like a subscription based service. You know, you pay monthly, you get access to all this music and stuff. But you can access that service on your PlayStation. Assumably, you can also access it on your Vita, your phones, your tablets, all that stuff. So it's like, here's all these services, but like, wouldn't it be easier if it was all located in the same spot? Like you're paying. It's just like, man, you're paying for this and stuff. Like, it can all just connect up. I think they just wanted, or maybe they just thought in their company, like, they've got all these different sets of paperworks and stuff. They're like, this is getting out of hand, guys. Can't we just convolve just all into one folder? Like, really, guys? Vita. Talking about the Vita though, the firmware 1.6 is out. Should be out by now. In Japan on the Vita, it adds a map feature. And it also adds video recording instead of just camera shooting. Really cool, you know? I don't know why, like, I don't know if I missed something. There probably is like a reason that it didn't come with video recording in the first place, but it just sounds silly not to have it there from the get-go. Nice that they've obviously got it in now. Of course, by the time we get our hands on the Vitas, the first thing we're turning on is going to have this update. Assumably, it'll have the update straight away ready to go, and we'll have video recording. I don't know the specs on the camera, but I assume the specs on the camera are pretty good, so hopefully video recording it will be something cool. Map features cool. They're kind of making it more than a gaming service. I like the idea of having, especially since it's got, like, I'm getting a 3G one, you're not, but like adding a map feature, like a GPS kind of tell me how to get from where I am to this restaurant or something like that. Adding that to it is kind of more of an incentive for people that actually want to get the 3G service, to kind of want to buy the subscription so they can use these features while they're out and about. You know, if they need to add features like this, like they've got the near, it's like, oh, you can spot people around you that have been playing Vitas and look at what the games are playing. Like, cool, right? It's not really like a feature that's like that cool, but a map. It's not a cool game. It's not like a cool social thing. But it's like something that could help people want to get onto the 3G thing.
I don't know, but I'm glad that my shit internet that I complain about all the time is actually coming in handy for once.
Yeah, you can take it with you.
I don't need a 3G one because my Wi-Fi one, my internet I've got's wireless. It's a little fucking doodad, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, so you carry it. Yeah, because it's made to be like taken out. You just use it because that's what you got.
Yeah, so maybe it worked out for the better.
Maybe it did. Metal Gear Solid Vita news. Kojima has been tweeting stuff about it all week. Touch controls have been confirmed, although presumably you knew that was going to happen because it was coming out for the Vita. And I've said I'd rather probably get the Metal Gear Solid collection on my Vita.
Yeah.
So because I like in my head, it's like, especially like Final Fantasy X and stuff, like older games, I just feel like I'd rather play that on my Vita.
And like on the console.
Yeah, so that feels more right to play on it. But he said touchscreen controls will work and such, like you can, you can slice or just like
cut some
touch. Yeah, like back screen, you just go like that kind of thing, slide your finger real quick, you cut someone's throat. And then he said if you pinch like the left and right on the front touch pad, switch from first person to third person, you know, in 2 and 3, you know, because you have to, that stupid bloody...
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the camera goes all weird and stuff like that. So, it sounds cool. It doesn't sound like those features are forced. No, it doesn't feel like it's like you're playing the game. Because you can't picture it when someone talks about, oh, we're adding this feature, especially when it's games that you've already played or you know of, and from older consoles, you know how the controls should work, you know what the way the game should work. And when they're like, oh, we're adding touchscreen controls, you're like, well, it didn't have that originally, so it just sounds like in your head it's like, oh, they're just going to be adding shit on that's going to be real complicated and convoluted.
Yeah, but I like that because then you got your Vita with the back touch screen. If they weren't putting it in any games, there's no point of having it. So they're using it up. Yeah, but
it sounds like they're using it right.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound like it's uncomfortable to be playing and go like that, slice someone's throat real quick. Maybe it's easier than button press or something, you know. We got all that. Yeah, your firmware, touch controls, fucking Vita. Sorry, I lost where I was up to.
You got a bit of shit on there.
No, it's just old notes, isn't it? Some time ago they announced that they was going to do this UMD Passport Program for the Vita that would let you put UMD, you know, a disc into your PSP, hook it up to the PSN network, it'll recognise you've got a game, then it'll let you have the game on the PlayStation Store. So then when the Vita came out, all the games you already own on UMDs, you'll be able to get onto your Vita.
Oh, that's right? Good.
So that's out in Japan.
Yeah.
North America's not getting it. Don't know why. But I don't know if Australia's going to get it or not.
Did you tell me about this before?
Yeah, I tell you about everything. Jesus Christ! You know, I hope Australia gets that because it's really annoying. You know, it's not necessary. Companies can always use the excuse that this is a new console. It's like this isn't the PSP 2. This is the PS Vita. It actually doesn't. It's not like a sequel, so they can't be like, oh, it's different. You don't need your PSP games. But it would be nice to have this, especially because when the Vita got announced, I stopped buying fucking PSP games. I'm like, what's the point? You know, I'd rather buy them off the PlayStation Store if I ever wanted any from there, because then when the Vita does come out this month, I'll be able to download them onto there. But, horses, you know. Machete, did you ever watch Machete?
I did, it was good.
It's good fun, it's a really good movie. It's not
a brilliant movie.
It's not a brilliant movie, it's a really fun freaking movie to watch though. And at the end of the movie, if you remember it, it comes up, Machete will return again in Machete Kills! And it comes up, Machete will also return in Machete Kills! Again! And you're like, oh, is that a joke or is that like real promise? Like, is he actually saying that's going to do it? Machete Kills is happening. It starts filming in April. Didn't expect that news personally, but I'd say, like, Robert Rodriguez is the guy that directed it. It's fucking Machete, Spy Kids, and I'm like, oh, so now he's going to start working on Sin City 2, is he? No, Machete Kills. As much as I don't mind the idea of a sequel to that movie, because it just sounds like such ridiculous fun, and doesn't take that long to, like, get together. It doesn't sound like it would be that much of a struggle to get the cast back, especially because Danny Trejo is known as Machete. You know, he's in Spy Kids. They're like, they call him Uncle Machete. It's basically the same freaking character, except for this is like the MA version. Machete. But I'd rather when is Sin City 2 happening? Because I love Sin City. It's fucking cool. It's really, really good, and there is talk he was going to do like 2 and 3. And they've been talking about that for years, and he just seems to be not doing the movie unless he's like, oh, I don't want to do it. But he said he was going to do it, so where the fuck is it? You know, where the hell is that movie, Mr. Rodriguez?
Xbox 720, whatever the next gen Xbox console is going to be called, is trying to make it inoperable for people who have used games to be able to play those games on said console. Now, this is a big issue.
We're continuing the conversation now. Last week we talked about used games not being able to be played on the Xbox, so goes the rumour, and probably maybe all the consoles. Mr. XXE Blues posted a video response. We just watched that,
yes,
and we're going to give some opinion thoughts back there. That's what we want. This is what I was talking about. Back and forth. This is what you wanted, isn't it?
This is what we
have it.
This is what we want. We want, yes.
Yay!
Interact with
yes, we've got interaction finally.
We want to talk to people.
So, continuing the conversation, thoughts, anything he said, let's start you off.
Thoughts, he mentioned something that I did not think about. It's just simple that I didn't think about. Like, I think I won't be able to buy games cheaper, used, whatever. I didn't think about getting rid of my old games.
Right.
I will not be able to get rid of my second-hand games, yeah. So, there's that, and, yeah.
They already started that. Like, when you talk about that, not being able to get rid of any of your older games. First game comes to mind is DC Universe Online, right? That game came out. I know it's recently became free to play. You can download it off the PlayStation for free. When it first came out, it wasn't like that. First came out, buy it. Put the disc in. That game got tied to your PSN, coding-wise somehow. You could not trade it in. Alright, that disc became tied to your PSN account. Perfect example. Basically what we're talking about, isn't it? You know, that game got tied to your account. Right? I would have, he talks about the fucking, not being able to get rid of the games. It's like, I suppose it just, you wouldn't expect it, would you?
No.
If this system was working.
Yeah, like last time I said I wouldn't mind that much if it were to happen, but now it's kind of evoked my eyes a bit, and I see that it would be a problem. I don't want it at all.
No, you've completely changed because of one person's opinion.
Yeah, no, he mentioned a lot of things that just didn't come to my head.
He blew your mind.
I was like, he was like, last time I was like, yeah, well, I'm going to have to buy games brand new for more expensive, but there's all these other things you got to think about. And the memory card thing, I think I'm going to have to get on to buying a new
external hard drive, backup the save drive.
Because it really, he said that and I'm like, oh shit, what if that happens?
I got, like, we'll come back to anything he said, but in the news this week was still more talk about this stuff. Saints Row the Third's designer, Jameson Durrell, right, obviously I never pronounce names right, it could be wrong, has said it's a fantastic idea, and he has said, quote, personally, I think this would be a fantastic change for our business. Even though consumers would be up in arms about it at first, which you seem to be now, and obviously he was as well.
Our business.
Yes, right, our business. Well, that's what he has to say, isn't it? He says they will grow to understand why, and it won't kill them. He also says that companies like Microsoft could implement their own rental system where you can get a code that activates a game disc for X amount of days. Right? No, everything here makes sense by his standpoint, and this is really where this whole topic comes from. Your standpoint, you know. He's talking about not enough money.
Yeah, it comes from where we're at.
Yeah, he's talking about not enough money. You always talk about not enough money. Used games, not enough money. Blah 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 blah. Right? So that's your standpoint. I don't have enough money, guys. Like, you get rid of used games. That's how I fucking do all this. Right? Well, they're going, fuck it, maybe you don't deserve to buy that many games, you know? We're not getting any of your money. So it's literally like clashing. You're never going to get the guys on that side of the wall, the game designers, the people that make the games, go, it's okay, I know you don't have enough money. They want your money, they don't care.
I don't know, but why can't they just be like, these people like our shit, we're happy with that, we've already got billions of dollars. You know, just stop being greedy and be like, we get enough money as it is, but we need more.
But see, with the trading thing, obviously if game discs in the future on the next generation consoles going inoperable to be played, right? You can't play them, you obviously can't trade them in. But I think of a world, you know, I always say that one day the whole world's going to go digital, you won't have game cases. In that world with this system, right, you buy a game, $100, whatever, off the PlayStation Store, off the Xbox Live service, maybe, because it's their own service right there and then, they could easily implement on their own store, on their own service, trading the game for points, for more money. You know? If it works like that, obviously with the disc service, no, it wouldn't work. There's no way it can work unless Sony and Microsoft took over like eBay Games, GameStop, and made their own like Sony stores, like completely run by Sony, where you could go in, trade in a disc, but then they're not, it has no more value to them, you know. Whereas it would be a lot more easier. You buy a game, $100 store. You 6 months later, I don't play this anymore. Trade, you get let's say you get $50 back, right, for your 100. The game is then like they could easily, because you've returned it, you no longer have the ability to play that game. They know you no longer have the ability to play that game. The code, they could just generate another code to activate that game, right? Because it's not disc based.
Yeah.
You know, so no matter how many people buy it, if they return it, it's not like a disc. It's not like it's completely fucked off. It can work that way. But you know, I obviously have. You know, I'm talking about stories like the guy of a week. I don't think I said this on video, but I said to you, where the Notch, the creator of Minecraft, guy. It was a story. They tweeted him, right? This guy tweets him. He says, "Notch, I played the demo for Minecraft. Would really love to get it, but I don't have the money to buy it at the moment. Thought I'd just ask you for a free copy before I download it illegally." Notch responds and says, "Download it illegally. When you get the money, fucking buy it." But he's not a big game developer. He's a very like independent dude. So he has the ability to say that obviously companies like EA and Activision won't be doing it, especially Activision, since they're money grabbing whores. So you know, it's a really weird situation we're in, and it's you know, clashing points of view, left, right, and centre, all depending on your circumstances, really. You know, because as much as you could say so you don't have the money to buy games, you really love games. But you know, people go, the game designer stand there, he's going, look, I know you love games, but do you love games enough to understand that you buying used games doesn't give us any money at all? And they're like, oh yeah, I know, but I really want to play your product. you don't understand. Like, I know you really want to play our product, but you're not supporting us. You know, do you care that much enough about it to understand that you're not supporting us? Okay, well, I understand, guys, but I can't do anything about it. I don't have the money to afford that, because I assume game companies, developers that all make an answer would just be like, well, instead of buying 4 games for $20, buy our one game for $100, whatever, $60, instead of getting 3-4 games, and then we actually get your money. You're actually supporting us there.
Yeah, but in my way, if I can't buy it for that cheaper price, I'm not going to buy it at all. Either way, they're not getting my money, and they're just being like, well, if you're getting it somehow without paying us, it's bullshit. You can't have it at all.
There's, you know, he's that guy, Jameson or whatever, was saying that he also said that he says he doesn't think consumers, people that buy games, actually understand how much money developers like them are losing from these game sales and illegal downloads and stuff like that.
I'm sure we don't know how much money they actually have either.
Yeah, no, that's the thing though. So that, yeah, no, it's really a weird situation. You got anything else to say though on the topic?
Topic,
No, that's it. So once again, this is cool. Would love to keep up this segment, but it took us 4 episodes to actually get a response from someone for one episode. That was my virtual 4-episode clock on my bracelet. It's not real. Sorry, not real. Don't have the special effects implemented.
Just a bracelet he's been wearing for 6 years.
Yeah. Whatever. Obviously, continuing the conversation would be a really cool thing that we can continue to do. This is what we want to do, obviously, back and forth like this. So it's really cool for him, as 60 Blues, to do that. I'll link down below for his channel. And if you want to continue this conversation, you can do that. Continue this copy. If you want to continue the conversation on another topic that we've talked about, you can do that. But until the next video, I am Dylan.
I am Tristan.
And we are off. Goodbye. Love you. Nah! Current day, and the plot's actually pretty interesting. So, out of probably all the games I'm going to talk about this.
You have to put yourself to a man in this, so.
Alright.